This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello again, and welcome to the Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Well, another bullpen day, completely different attitude and outcome. Game win, series win, 5-2 the final. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Yeah, completely different attitude today. Another bullpen. Hold on. Like I said, I hate it when that happens. Excuse me. No mute button here on YouTube. Completely different attitude in spite of another bullpen day. Pulled the rug out from Robleski at the last minute. That's what we talked about at the end of the show yesterday after the Dodgers got shellacked 11-1, that Robo was going to get the ball to start the game today. But in fact, it was not Robleski. It was Ben Casparius, and he did very well. A lot of talk about maybe trying to stretch him out and get him out there as a fourth or a fifth starter as they try to work their way through all of these injuries. He went through 4 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, 2 walks, which scored a run. That was probably the most unfortunate part of his day, walking in a run there with the bases loaded, but he struck out 254 pitches, continues to look good on the ERA side of things, 2.86. So all in all, that kept the Padres down. They had a grand total of 4 hits, 3 of which came early off of Casparius in those first 4 innings. But from there, they had just 1 hit. The bullpen came in and shut the door.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Everybody got their hands on the ball today, just about. Trevino, Dreyer, Yates, Kopech, Bonda, Scott, and Vesia, the last 2 of which were dominant. Although I will say this about Tanner Scott, a former Padre, I felt like they did him some favors. He looked good, but not great. Throwing fastballs up in the zone that they were swinging at and, weakly grounding out or popping up. They did him a few favors. But Vesia, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 14 pitches, striking out the side. He looked dominant, fidgeting, trying to get the uniform right. For those of you listening, I apologize for that. That was more of a video thing. But when he's doing that, I don't really have a problem because that's what he does. His gyrations are part of his entire day. The Dodgers with a 5-2 win, and I feel like here we are 3 minutes in, and I have buried the lead that TEOSCAR HERNANDEZ gets the Dodgers on the board, breaking an 0-for-16 slump with runners in scoring position, blasting one deep to center field for a 3-run shot to give the Dodgers the lead and ultimately the win.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
TEOSCAR HERNANDEZ, 1 for 5 on the day, but 3 RBI. The pitch that was launched out of Petco Park was middle fastball. Let's be honest, that pitch was not the pitch that needed to be thrown at that point. Estrada just set him up, and TEOSCAR HERNANDEZ took advantage. I mean, that ball was right where he wanted it, 420 feet for his 11th of the year. Freeman on board, as well as Will Smith, who also had a fantastic day for the Dodgers. Will Smith kind of got going late in this one, getting his hits off of the relievers that came in later in the game. but he finished 2 for 4 with an RBI, knocking in a little insurance for the Dodgers there in the ninth inning to make it 5-2. So a little bit of everything across the board for the Dodgers offensively, which is nice to see. Shohei Ohtani, 8-game hitting streak extended with a triple late. That was good. As far as Mookie Betts base hit, Freddie Freeman base hit, 1 for 4 with a run scored. Will Smith 2 for 4, Teo 1 for 5, Max Muncy a pair of hits and a walk, on base 3 times. Muncy got a nice base hit right after the Teo home run. Pages 1 for 4 with a K. Conforto, another day with production, got the Dodgers on the board, tied the game at 1. A first pitch 4-seamer for his 4th of the year. The Dodgers right now, dealing with the injuries. That's old news, not new. This is a little bit new from the standpoint of, I look at the schedule and I could see who's coming up, and I know that those teams are good, but more specifically, the Dodgers are in the middle of a 26-game stretch versus teams with records over 500. So for them to maintain their first place lead as they are starting to get healthy. That being said, one of those guys that recently returned from the IL, making his first appearance of the season over the weekend, I believe, or a couple of days ago, Michael Kopech came out today and was all over the place. That dude was wild. I guess that's what you get when you throw high 90s to triple digits. When it's on, it's good. When it's not, take a seat, my friend. He was not looking good today. He had 3 walks to load the bases. He did get 1 out, but rightfully so. I think Dave Roberts did the right thing at that point. Doc came in and pulled him, brought in Kirby Yates, who got out of the jam. So although we haven't heard a lot of fire Dave Roberts recently, let's give Dave some credit on that one. That was a nice call. I mean, he made the right call at the right time to pull Kopech out of there, because that to me could have turned things around for the Padres.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Obviously, from an offensive perspective, the turning point was the Teo home run. But from a defensive perspective, right then and there, when Doc came and got Kopech and brought in Kirby Yates, things for the Padres could have turned in their favor. They had narrowed the gap from 4-1 to 4-2. Bases loaded, and then a rise. What was that? The Padres today just weren't very clutch. That was the 7th inning. Bonda got a rise to pop out, and then that made it 2 outs. Then Machado, also huge question mark, head scratching move there. What was that? A couple of just blunders at the plate from the Padres. Their fans had to be a little frustrated with the way that inning shook out, because Kopech loaded the bases in his second return, wild all over the place. Then Bonda got a rise, and Machado 3-0 swinging. Mookie ranging to his left to make a hell of a play. One hops it to Freddie to get out of the jam. So, I mean, Joe brought it up. Oral added on to the point that fewer than 2 outs, runner on third base, all you gotta do is hit a fly, and Arise is a guy that puts the ball in play, makes contact. You didn't think he was going to strike out, but the pop-up was even more ideal than anything else that could have happened in that situation. So we'll take it. Yeah, it was nice to see. Again, Tanner Scott came in for the bottom of the 7th, had pretty good command of the fastball. I thought they were giving him a little too much credit there. Padres definitely did him some favors swinging at high balls there, but he got out of it, and no harm done. Again, the Padres had 1 hit in the final 6 innings of the game, and both bullpens deployed at a very high level. Again, Kasparius, Trevino, Dreyer, Yates, Kopech, Bonda 2/3 of an inning, zeros across the board on 6 pitches. Tanner Scott, just the 1 inning, had 1 K, 15 pitches, and Vesia came in for the save, his 3rd of the year, as the Dodgers take the game and the series 5 to the final. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. And don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince Monday through Friday right here on the Dodgers YouTube channel, breaking down the Dodgers in depth. They give you 30 to 35 every day and tell you what is going on in the Dodger universe. All of the details, right down to player movement and, how the momentum is rolling. And we haven't seen a lot of momentum lately, but they are playing well some of the time, right? We talked about it last night. It's a little frustrating when you see a nice win like they had in the first game of this series on Monday, and then they come out last night and get throttled. But again, that kind of felt like a scheduled loss. And today they come out and get the win, take the series. So let's hope they can build on this one as they head back home to face the Giants over the weekend with an off day tomorrow. We'll take the break and come back. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Where are my funds? They're dining out, online shopping, entertainment, golf, gym memberships, et cetera, all the TV memberships. That's where Monarch Money comes in. They're your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. And it's not just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center where you can track all of your accounts, especially the investments, the money coming in, the money going out, and all in one place. You stop managing your money and start building wealth. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com. 50% off your first year with that code LOCKEDONMLB. Again, monarchmoney.com, LOCKEDONMLB for 50% off your first year. Tonight's episode also brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for skilled trade workers like Supply House, and helping out those plumbers and HVAC workers and electrical supply people that come to your house and fix all of your stuff that's broken, like your dishwasher or your refrigerator or your AC unit or whatever. They have to get those parts from somewhere, and they get them from Supply House. It's the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. They have over 200,000 parts from 400 top brands, and you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support, industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Masters program has exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line. Again, that's where you talk to a real human being, not an AI bot. Free shipping and discounts on every order. Join the Trade Masters program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies in just a few clicks. And if you use this code SH5, you'll get 5% off your first order. That's at supplyhouse.com. Dodgers take care of business today at Petco. 5-2 the final. One of the things I always love at Petco, when they're trying to do the dun, 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 and you hear, "Let's go Dodgers," and the Padre fans are trying to get over top of them. And the fact that the Dodger fans show up in the gas lamp in such high numbers is remarkable, because the Padres are good and they're popular, and it's, a big deal. So people are showing up 40,000 plus on a regular basis. And, the Dodger fans are louder than the Padre fans on occasion. Like it's a struggle for sure, because there's definitely more Padre fans there, but the Dodger fans always show up, and that's always interesting to see. And there's always Dodger fans sprinkled right behind home plate in the camera's view, right? They get good seats, and they come and they support their team in San Diego. Mark is complaining too much blue love, Pete. Okay, I'm not sure. What do you want me to do? That's what we do here, Mark. That's what they pay me for. They don't pay me to come in here and pump up the opposition. I am here to give lots of blue love. My producers and supervisors will love that comment if they review today's show. Oh, was it a complaint? Okay, thank you. Okay, gotcha. I didn't think it was. It sounded weird though. Sometimes with the comments, the context is lost. So I apologize there, Mark. Yes, Padres reliving the end of the NLDS 2024. Yeah, it is. It's definitely good to beat the Padres. It's going to be even better to beat the Giants over the weekend. So tough stretch here for the boys in blue. Padres off day tomorrow. Giants in for the weekend. Then right back to the Padres for 4. Fortunately, that is in LA. So things are going well. I still feel like we're a bit of a roller coaster. It's up and down. There's not a ton of consistency, but under the circumstances, I feel like we're doing great with all of these injuries. But again, starting to get healthy, starting to come around. Kirby Yates back, did well today. I don't know if I went through his line or not, but a third of an inning, 3 pitches coming in to relieve Kopech, who was definitely rocky today. Walked 3 to load the bases, only survived for 1 out, 19 pitches, but didn't give up a run. So his ERA is still perfect at 0.0. So he'll lock it down without a doubt. He's just that's kind of the double-edged sword that you get with Michael Kopech. But the good news is that some of these guys that have been injured for a while starting to come back. Bullpen starting to get healthy. Now we've heard a couple of different stories, including today, that Blake Schnell throwing the ball and starting to work up to getting ready for a return. I think he's looking at the 20, 30 pitches at this point, which is not a lot, but it takes time, and they have a plan without a doubt. So at least he's throwing and feels good. So he'll be back sooner before later. And of course, we've heard all the stories about Shohei and his bullpen days before the game. I think he did one yesterday, 40, 50 pitches, looking good, but they're still in no hurry to get him back out there before the All-Star break. We all are scratching our head about that. It was addressed in the, I think, pregame presser yesterday. Hey, you need starters. Why not get Shohei out there? And Doc was like, yeah, not happening. So you have to respect the fact that he has a plan and he's sticking to it. That's good. And Casparius has just been really reliable for these Dodgers. In any position you ask him to go out there, middle relief, he'll close if you want him to. Started today, went 4, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, and did not get the win. Trevino got the win. Another good outing for him. He's now 2-0. He went 1 and gave up the rest zeros except for a K on 10 pitches. Pitbull is trying to say that I'm a Padres fan, saying that I root for the Chargers, calling them the San Diego Chargers, and then I root for the San Diego Clippers, and now the San Diego Pods. Well, a lot of that is true. The problem being that the Chargers are now in LA and the Clippers have been in LA for a long, long time. And although I did go to school in San Diego at San Diego State University and lived there for about 10 years, I have never once liked the Padres. I will say that when I worked down there on the radio for a period of time as a fill-in guy, I would occasionally wear a Padre hat to the radio station to kind of blend in. But, because when you're on the radio in San Diego, you can't be a blatant Dodger fan. So I would try to, walk the line, if you will, stay on top of the fence. Wasn't easy. But I never once was a Padre fan, never once rooted for them. I do like the brown and yellow, though. I think it's kind of cool. Way better than what they had before. I'm glad they switched their uniforms at some point. And look, this is a organization that has very little success on a regular basis. I love the fact that they're good right now, because it's a whole lot easier to hate them. You don't feel sorry for them right now. They're a damn good team. And the rivalry aspect of this is always entertaining. It makes for a good watch. And that's what we want, right? As Dodger fans, we don't want the opposition to be a pushover. We want the Giants to be competitive. We want the Padres to be competitive. So it definitely makes life a whole lot more interesting and exciting. And that's what you root for in sports, that your rivals are good. So when you beat them, you know you've done something like they did today. Nice win today. 5-2 the final. TEOSCAR HERNANDEZ, player of the game, with a 3-run shot, his 11th of the year. Dodgers off tomorrow, as I said. Back to work on Friday at the Ravine against the hated ones. The Giants are in town Friday the 13th. Oh, Dodgers got their pitching rotation all set up for this matchup. Yoshinobu Yamamoto will start against Logan Webb, who is no joke. Comes in with a 2.58 ERA, 1.16 on the whip, 101 Ks. Only surrendered 5 home runs. Yamamoto a 2.2 ERA. He's 6-4. Better whip, 1 flat. He has 86 Ks, 25 walks, and surrendered 6 home runs. So the pitching matchup is going to be a good one on Friday at the Ravine. We, of course, will be here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel right afterwards to break it down for you. Again, don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince with the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. Coming on a little bit later today. And again, we will talk on Friday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for the comments. It really makes life a lot more interesting around here. Talking to you guys through the comment section versus just talking into my computer. So keep them coming. They're always welcome. Take care. Have a good night. We'll talk on Friday.